Here's how I was able to make a 1,000 plus return trading options on Robinhood as a complete beginner. I just quickly want to start off by saying that this is not financial advice. In no way am I a professional. This is just for fun, and I'm just showing you the process that I took and the trades that I made. So we'll go through the actual trades that I made that made me a decent amount of profit, and then I'll show you the actual process that I took to choosing these trades and executing them. So the first trade was JD. I bought it for $350 and I sold it for $470, I believe 2 days later. So I kind of swing traded it and my profit was $165, which is not bad at all. The next was Square. I bought it for $205 and I sold it for $340 the next day, which gave me a $135 profit. Not bad. The next is BLNK. I bought it for $115 on the dip before the huge run up, and I sold it for $450 a few days later. If I would have held, I would have made close to $1,300, but I did secure a $335 profit, which is not bad at all. The next, I still have this position open. It's Fisker. I bought it for $286 and it's currently priced at $463 for $177 profit, which isn't bad. I'm probably gonna hold. I still have a few months till that option call expires. The next is Space, ticker symbol SPCE. I bought it for $448. It is still open at $840 for a $392 profit, which I am happy with. I am gonna hold it for the next few months. I don't know how it's gonna go, but it is profitable right now. So that brings me to a total of $1,204, which is not bad. These were all in about a week or so. So let's move on to how I actually chose these calls to make. I did actually forget about a position that I do currently have open. It is the ticker symbol SRAC. I bought it for $80 and it is currently at $395, which brings our actual total profit to $1,444. When I first started trading, I didn't really have a strategy. I didn't know exactly what I was doing, and I just kind of joined a Discord group and I was following all their calls. It worked out for a little bit. I made a little bit of money, and then I ended up losing a lot of money. I went all the way down to around 750, and that's when I realized that I had to reevaluate and I had to make an actual strategy, so that way I followed something and I would be able to do it over and over again. My kind of thought process when going about trading bigger stocks like Square were to wait for a few days of the stock to drop, and then when I saw a decent buying opportunity, I would buy an options call for 2021, either the beginning of 2021 or farther out into 2021, and just kind of ride it for a few days. If it went in the negatives, I knew that I still had time for it to actually go up, so I would just do that for most of my calls. I'm never ever buy a call in the next month or two. I'm always going to do it in 3 or 4 months or even more. I think that's just a lot more safety when trading options. That's just my personal. Another thing that I did personally, which probably sounds really stupid to experienced investors, was just use common sense. When I saw that these electric vehicle stocks like NIO and XPEV were absolutely skyrocketing, I decided to look for something like SBE, which is electric vehicle charging stations, and BLNK. And that's when I decided to buy into BLNK, because it kind of makes sense. If all of these electric vehicle car stocks are shooting up, the charging stations also have a great chance of shooting up. So that's why I chose to buy BLNK call. I wrote it out for a few days. I should have held a little bit longer, but profit is profit, and I will always take profit over a loss. And so that's another thing that I did, was just kind of do things that made sense. Now, I don't exactly know how to read all the graphs, charts, financial sheets, and important stuff like that, but what I do think is really important to understand is how a company actually makes money and if they have growth potential for the next 20 to 50 years. Once you understand how a company actually makes money and their growth potential, you can really start to predict or get an idea of what the stock price is going to be like, 5 to 10 years down the line. An example of this is why I invested in Virgin Galactic, which is SPCE. They're basically a commercial space flight company, and they're not currently making profits now, but I believe, down the line, there's a lot of potential for them to make a lot of money. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to actually trade SPCE. Make sure that if you're trading options, you're only using money that you're willing to lose, and really get an idea and understand how options actually work before doing it, because you can lose a lot of money and you can lose it very quickly. And that's gonna be all for the video today. I really appreciate all of you guys for watching. My account is currently sitting at around 3,000. So if you want to see my progress and see me scale this to the next milestone, make sure you like and subscribe. And I appreciate all you guys once again.